afternoon, class. Today we're going to talk about weather maps. We're continuing in our unit on weather maps. So there are 6 different types of weather maps, and I want you to repeat after me. There is temperature, wind, front, satellite, radar, and precipitation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send around examples of each type of map. What I want you to do, if you are one in your group, once everyone in your group has seen this, then you will, in a clockwise manner, pass it to the next group. So A, you're going to pass it to B, B, C, C, D, D, and E. And what you're going to do is only my ones is going to transfer to the next group. So let's talk about them real quickly though. The first map we have is wind. This is our wind speed map. And I know you can't see it just yet. But on our wind speed map, wind is measured with the unit of measurement of miles per hour. Same unit of measurement we use when we're riding in a car. If you're a parent or you're riding with someone that's traveling down Cypress Wood, they're going to be traveling at about 45 miles per hour on different parts of Cypress Wood, unless they're passing through specific neighborhoods where the miles per hour needs to drop down to about 30. Okay? So we have our wind. Our next one is going to be precipitation. Say precipitation. Precipitation is measured by inches, which is another unit of measurement. So with precipitation, you're going to see the measurement in inches. Now, the other thing you want to be mindful of is every map has a key. So in order to know what's going on with the map, you have to read the key. And on this map, the key is located at the top. Next map we have is temperature. Say temperature. Our temperature map is very colorful. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look at the key again, and it's going to be listed in the key in degrees by either Celsius or Fahrenheit. Our next map is a satellite map. Say satellite. With satellite maps, they're very interesting. They're the only types of maps that will give us a view of even the water, which is different from a radar map. Radar maps can only view the land. So satellite maps are very important because they allow us, or satellites rather, they're very important because they allow us to see the water, the seas, the oceans. I'll give you one. Let everyone in your group take a look. Our next map is a radar map. Say radar map. With our radar map, you're going to be able to view the different types of precipitation, whether it be rain, whether it be ice or snow, and it's color coded. So if you want to know how light or how heavy the precipitation is, just look at the key. And then our last map is our fronts map. Say fronts map. Our fronts map is interesting, but it's also a review for us because I want you guys to show me your foldables. Everyone hold up your foldables. On your foldables, you did a key, and you have different symbols, which you're going to see on this map. Good, you can put those down. On your foldables, you can use them as a reference, and as I said, it's a review. We're going to see different symbols that are going to look very familiar. For an example, the blue line with the triangles at the bottom. Who can raise their hand and remind me what symbol is that? Tasia.
A cold front.
It's a cold front. So with our cold front, the direction of those triangles are pointing in the direction that that cold front is traveling. But on the opposite side, or the inside of that line, is usually drier air. Now, another familiar symbol is the red lines with the semicircles or the half circles. Christina, tell me, what does that symbol mean? It's a warm front. So with our warm fronts, we can typically expect some wind, some clouds, some precipitation, okay? But with our colder fronts, it's usually more calmer conditions. So another symbol we have is our capital H. Can you tell me what the capital H means? Nicholas, what does capital H mean?
The capital H means high pressure.
Is high pressure, okay? And with our high pressure, pressure, we know that we can expect some uncomfortable conditions with precipitation and things like that. So we have the capital L. What does the capital L mean? Ethan?
Low pressure.
It's the low pressure. Low pressure, we're going to experience those more comfortable conditions that we so enjoy. Okay? Now, you may or may not have it, but, oh, I think you do. You have the red and the blue lines, the triangles mixed with the semicircle. That is an intersection of fronts. So, typically during those seasons, depending on what season it is, if it's like the summer times, we may experience thunderstorms. If it's during winter, we may experience blizzards. And we typically are not real familiar with blizzards, but some states are. So who can tell me, what is that called? Travion. It's our stationary front, okay? So I'm going to circulate this one around. If you are one, you just pass it to the next group in a clockwise manner, just like you do on the hands of a clock. I need your help. We don't have to talk, just pass it. Only my ones should be handling it. Okay, I'm coming around. I need your help. If you are one, you should be handling the map. Only my ones. Make sure every member of your group has an opportunity to look at it, and then you pass it around to the next group in a clockwise manner. If that group has seen that map, then go to the next group. Right now, I'm coming around with a world atlas. Each group is going to get one. We're not using it at the moment, but when we do, I will let you know. So just keep it in the center of your group. Are you guys finished?
We just got this one.
Okay. Are you finished with this one? Okay. If your group does not have an atlas, please raise your hand and let me know. Okay, once your group has finished with those, raise your hand and I'll come around and collect them. Raise your hand and I'll come get your map from your group. Okay, go ahead and open your science journals to a clean page. I want you to entitle it Weather Maps. I love how Group C is communicating with Group D and passing their map around. Okay. Thank you. I'm coming around to collect them. Good job. Just at the top line, you should write weather maps. Go ahead and put today's date as well. April 5th, 2013. Any more maps? Now, I need eyes on me. Thank you. Okay, now let's direct our attention up here. We have a large U.S. weather map. And if you paid attention, all of the maps that I passed around were weather maps of the United States. So here what I've done is just created some scenarios. So this is nothing that is actually going on in the United States right now, or it could be. Here on the left-hand side, we have our key. On every map, you're going to see a key, okay? And I've created different scenarios here. So what's the scenario I've created here? Gwyneth, please answer in a complete sentence. Okay, there's a stationary front, but what type of front is this? Eric? What type of front is that?
Is mixed with warmth and cold.
No. This front right here, remember this is our blue line. We have triangles that are below the blue line, and function of what type of front? Tasia. This is a cold front right here. This is a cold front. So they're experiencing some pleasant weather here. Now, what type of weather indication is going on here in Florida? Jaden.
Miss Williams says the condition in Florida is precipitation.
They're experiencing some precipitation here in Florida. Okay, now moving to our state, the state of Texas. I want to know, what is the temperature indicated here in Texas? What is the temperature indicated here in Texas? Joel?
This is William in class. The temperature is 60 degrees Celsius.
It's 60 degrees. Very good. And are we experiencing any other type of weather here in Texas? Terrence?
Miss Williams in class. The conditions are sunny.
Very good. It's sunny. It's sunny here in Texas. Okay. Now let's move on here in Montana. What type of experience or conditions are they experiencing there? Justice. Up here?
Miss Williams in class.
Can I get someone to help you? Would that be okay? Let's get somebody to help. Ethan. Ethan, could you help Justice with what type of weather we're experiencing here in Montana?
Miss Williams' class in Montana, it is high pressure.
It's high pressure. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to take your atlas, on my twos, take your atlas and open up to page 14. If you are a two in your group, just open up to page 14. I need your help. Okay, on page 14, you're going to see a U.S. map. So, you can see it's labeled already. So, turn it on the other side, Christina. On page 14. So, that's a U.S. map that's labeled with the states as well as the cities. So, that'll kind of give you an idea of what states are experiencing what here. I'm here. Who can tell me what state is this and what are they experiencing here? Sabelle?
Right now,
What state is this and what are they experiencing? Okay, can I get someone to help? Okay, Christina, what state is this and what are they experiencing here with their weather? Okay, answer in a complete sentence, please. Okay, so they're experiencing temperatures around 70 degrees in the state of Wisconsin. Okay, now we're moving over here. What state is this and what are they experiencing here? Elizabeth?
Miss Williams in class, the state is California, and they are experiencing sunny skies in the high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
I love it. Absolutely. Very good. And then finally, who can tell me what state is this and what are they experiencing here? Right here. Travion, what state is this and what temperature are they, or what weather are they experiencing? Okay, very good. And what are they experiencing here? And a warm front. Very good. Okay, go ahead and close those up. And I want you to put them in the middle. If you are a 3, well now, I shouldn't say that. Gwyneth, go around and pick up all the atlases for me. Sabelle, pass one out to each group, to each member of each group. I need your help. Gwyneth is coming around to pick up the atlases. Make sure sure each person gets one. Once you get a handout, it should say all about the weather. Go ahead and put your name at the top. Put your date on it as well. Raise your hand if you do not have a handout. Thank you so much for helping me. Justice, can you turn off the lights for me?
It's okay, I like it that way.
Thank you, Justice. Okay, make sure you have your name at the top. Date to the right. Okay, go ahead and put away your foldables. You can leave your journals out for now. Okay, at the top of your handout, right underneath all about the weather, you're going to see a subtitle. It's temperature myths. Okay? So I want you to go ahead and start looking at question number 1. Okay, question number 1 says, why does temperature change during the seasons? Why does temperature change during the seasons? Travion, why do you think temperature changes during the seasons?
Because sometimes
Please answer in a complete sentence.
Miss William in class asked me because sometimes it's sunny and low pressure and high pressure, warm pressure, cold front can come to different places.
Okay. Who has a different answer? Gary?
Miss William, because the reason the temperature changes during the season is because of climate.
Okay, because of climate. So this is what I want you to write down for number 1. When the Earth orbits the sun, different sides of the Earth face the sun. So that's what you're going to write for number 1.
Can you turn the light off?
Justice, go ahead and turn off the other light, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, number 2. Who would like to read the question for me? Christina?
What are the two most important factors in temperature?
Ooh, that's a good question. What are the 2 most important factors in temperature? Caleb? Anyone else?
Mrs. Williamson class, the two most important factors in temperature are Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Okay? When we're talking about factors, we're talking about those things that contribute. So when we're talking about our temperature, we're talking about things that could either balance it out or cause it to be off balance. So when we're looking at our temperature in the U.S. or even in the world, if we did not have the balance of temperature as well as precipitation, we would burn up. So the precipitation helps cool off the earth. If we didn't have it, it would get too hot here. But we also have our temperature, which also doesn't allow us to get too wet, and then we have that balance. So what I want you to write is temperature and precipitation. Number 3, who would like to read it? Jaden?
Why is it usually cooler at night?
Oh, good question. Why is it usually cooler at night? Eric, why is it usually cooler at night?
Because the sun is making the day warm. Without the sun, it will be cold. That's why at night is cold.
Okay.
The sun is making us warm.
Okay. So we don't have the sun anymore. The sun has gone down. It's set. It's no longer there to create that heat. And the other part of it is clouds. Clouds kind of help absorb and insulate that heat. And we have neither factor going on at night. So that's why our evenings are cooler. So what you're going to put there is no sun and no clouds to absorb the heat. Okay, number 4. What do satellite images show? And we're under the subtopic of satellite maps. What do satellite images show? Simply put, they show us landforms, but they also show us our oceans. So let's put landforms and oceans. Okay, now, number 5. How do we get satellite images? Satellite, as I said earlier, it takes pictures or images for us from north to south, or from the atmosphere or space to Earth. So we get a sense of a bird's eye view. So they're taken from north to south. Images that are taken from north to south. Okay, now, what I want you to do is I want you to look for, turn to question number, turn to question number 9. Okay, you have to get it from your group members. Okay, we're looking at question number, question number 8. What is precipitation? We know different forms of precipitation. I need your help. We know different forms of precipitation, but what is precipitation? Simply put, it's any form of liquid or solid water molecules that fall from the atmosphere and may reach the surface of the earth. For an example, how many people are familiar with a piñata? You know what a piñata is? You're familiar with the piñata, okay. What happens with a piñata? Jaden.
When you hit it, all the candy falls out.
All the candy falls off. But prior to that, the piñata is filled with a lot of different candy. Once there's a lot of pressure added to the piñata, it punctures it at some point, and all the candy is released. So So it's the same thing with precipitation. Once those clouds fill up with all that moisture, you remember in our water cycle, it then releases water or rain in the form of precipitation. So we're going to go ahead and put it's any form of liquid or solid. Okay, we're going to stop right there. What I want you to do is this. With the remaining questions, they are homework. If you bring them back on Monday, you will earn 2 popcorn points. If you bring them back on Tuesday, you will only earn 1 popcorn point. Okay? Okay. Justice, go ahead and turn on the lights for me.
Wait,
Yes. If you turn it in on Monday, you get a bonus popcorn point. You'll have 2. But if you turn it in on Tuesday, you'll only get 1 popcorn point. Make sure your name is at the top, your date is on it, and go ahead and put them in your work in progress folders. Oh, I'm sorry. You're taking it home.